Hello, everyone. Sorry for the glare and the glasses right away. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Catching Up with Caitlin. It's your girl, Caitlin, here, and we are excited for tonight's show. Tonight's episode is going to be a stream and chat, just like normal. And I got to turn this on because I keep forgetting to do that right at the beginning of the stream. Make sure you guys all say hello to my friend James Ryan. Make sure you guys go and support him out. He is currently, I believe he's still in Walt Disney World. He did a trifecta amazingness today. He rode Hagrid's and Rise of the Resistance in one day by 2:14 p.m. That was, or I think it was by 4 o'clock this afternoon, and that was insane. So, James, congratulations on your victory with the Hagrid's Rise of the Resistance challenge. You succeeded very well. I never really had promoted this ahead of time, so this will be based on what's been going on. So hopefully all of you guys are here hanging out. I just went live on Instagram to let people know. I just shared it on Twitter, so we should be able to go on. We also had somebody mentioned in a story, so we should be good. Okay. Oh, you're at Universal right now, so yes. You are okay. I just got the live notification, so we should have more people joining us in a few minutes here. But yeah, we're at Universal now, which is awesome. I haven't really had Universal that much, so don't have much experience with that, but that's okay. That's how life is right now. Remember today, most of you guys probably know here in the United States. If you're international and watching this, you probably don't remember, but it was a pretty big world event. Today is the 19th anniversary of 9/11. For those of you who do not know or are too young to remember, 9/11 was a series of attacks that struck the World Trade Center. Both towers, the Pentagon from another American Airlines flight, and the brave passengers and flight crew on United Flight 93. It's a hard topic because I think everyone who was around or alive that day and remembers even a little bit, because I was still 5 or 6, but that day is very vivid. And I think everyone thinks of it as a really vivid day. You know, that bright blue September sky that everyone thinks of. It's kind of scary to think about, but I want to reflect on that, share my story with all of you, that we have it. Hello, Mouse Talk. Nice to see you. Thank you for popping in to saying hello. Thank you for seeing it on Twitter. I really appreciate that. Love you both, and my art stuff is coming. I just gotta be able to put it on something. I keep forgetting to get something for that, but I will send it out very soon. And make sure you guys when you guys are all here, make sure you guys go and say hello to James Ryan, fellow mod extraordinaire. So with that, I'm going to be starting to share my 9/11 story. James says, I lived and worked in the city that day, so I still have vivid. Yeah, I'm sure you had vivid images if you worked in New York City that day. We do not have any personal connections that are tied to 9/11. However, we were connected for different reasons. So, to give you a time frame, I just started the first grade. Probably started my first week of school. And I believe that day was a Tuesday, if I'm thinking correctly. I was getting ready for school, doing my morning routine as always, you know, especially during that time. I was just starting school and just started talking by this point. So, or kind of vocalizing to get me there. We got to school. I was getting ready. I had my first class of the day in the mainstream classroom, which was the kind of the fun, get ready, play time a little bit before going into classes. And then going from that forth, I was pretty much in the special ed room all day. They would try to keep me in the mainstream room if I can, but there's some topics where I did have to move over. So remember that the President Bush at the time, was having a press conference at a school. And they were going to bring special education as a topic. And the teachers wanted to do that as a teaching moment to help us understand maybe how the government kind of tells us, okay, this is why you're in this classroom. So that way to help us comprehend why we were getting pulled out all the time. Which is different. In my school, administration was in the room at the time. So my principal, vice principal, office staff were in that room with us because they wanted to see it all on one television, didn't want to overwhelm the school hearing that, especially their offices right at the front of the school, so they didn't want to have us hear that. So from that point on, we were watching the TV, and the press conference was just starting. And then once it started, literally, I don't remember the time frame of this, but I think like within the first couple of minutes, they switched the live feed on the TV to when the first building was on fire. And I had never seen fear on a face that much fear ever in my life. It was including all the teaching staff, it was including all the administration that was in the room. And not even 5 minutes later, we saw the second plane. I don't remember the time frame of the tower of the plane's hit, but they had a continuous service with like they were popping in with the press conference. That way it wasn't always all negative. But then they shot it. They had a full screen again, and you saw the second plane getting hit. And then the teachers, I remember this vividly because most special education rooms I was in, the teachers were always trying to keep the children calm because a lot of the things sets us off in school, different things, special needs kids, they have things that make us a little bit stressed out, more stuff on the other hand. So that was an issue. And then what was on it? And what was I saying? Then by the time that second plane hit, teachers were starting to scream. But all of us kids were as quiet as can be. And that's a memory as a special needs child and someone who grew up in special education. A really unique, weird moment because you never had a special ed room that was like that, where all the students were silent while the teachers were saying something, or they're all collectively saying something. And it was crazy to hear the teachers being in that much fear to scream in front of special needs children. Obviously, they were reacting to the moment, which was very valid, where country was getting under attack. But it was also insane to think that the opposite would happen. By this point, I was confused. I just remember looking at the TV, looking at my teacher's fear in my face, and I knew something was wrong. Like my brain did say something in my head, was saying something's wrong here. Like nothing's adding up. And even when the principal, who I actually knew because he would pop in and out of our classrooms all day. He was the type of person who would say hello every morning to every class. Very friendly, very good for a elementary school teacher and principal. And they would see that. And I remember that there was another teacher who asked if they can bring the kids to another room to distract them because they feared that meltdowns were going to start, especially with me. I was just starting to talk at this point. Obviously, I can't articulate what my mind is saying at that time. So they would take us to a different room. They would allow us to play games. They still had the radio on. They still had us hearing it, but it definitely wasn't as loud. I didn't know about United Flight 93 until they said on the airplane or on the radio that they said all airplanes are about to land. And I remember writing something in my notebook it was like a broken sentence, if I remember correctly. This is a long time ago, so my vivid imagination might be saying something here, but I think I remember writing something saying plane landing why? Like it was like I couldn't build sentences together. I remember writing that in my horrible handwriting that nobody could read. However, that teacher knew me. So she's like, she looked at me and she's like, and she was confused with what I was writing. And she was even computing. And I'm thinking that. And then she gets a phone call. The phone call is for me. And they say, okay, hey, Caitlin, we have some information for you. She said, the daycare that you have isn't going to be open today. Your mom is still working. She's going to work longer. So we're going to still get you to your end routine today. But your father is going to pick you up from school today. And I don't know what car, but I'm asking them right now to give them a description of the car that you're driving so that way you know what car you need to get into. And they're like, yeah, no worries. Like, this is perfectly fine. And that was one of 2 days on my entire K through 12 education that my routine was broken. And I remember leaving school confused. Those 2 days were a broke routine. I was both confused both days. One, I was less confused than the other, and I'm not going to go into details on that. The 9/11, I was really confused. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why we were getting out of school. And our school districts were the entire city of Madison, Wisconsin, which where we were living at the time, all went in lockdown because there were lawmakers that were supposed to fly in from the Senate and the House of Representatives from all around the country to Madison that day. And they had school districts released early. And I just remember my mom wasn't home until late. But yeah, kind of a weird story. A special needs kind of view of 9/11, which is interesting. James said he lived in the city that day and still had pretty vivid things, which I can imagine. Christine Hickman, hello, nice to see you. I think you're your first time on the show. Thank you for stopping in. She says, I was on the Disney College program at that time. Wow. I'm going to ask how Disney College program handled that because that's got to be challenging. Emily Rose, hello, nice to see you. Allie's still working on your icon. She's fixing the quote, but she's still working on it. Yeah, Christine, I would love your input on that. How the college program impacted that. Because I remember the parks closed really early that day. I think they closed within an hour or two after the first building went on fire because they knew that Disney World could be another target. So where did you work at that on your program? Was it in the parks, first of all? And the second of all, was there what protocol was placed on you guys while you're on campus? Like, were your housing shut down? Did you guys have different protocols that day? I would really like to know. And after we talk about this, remind you guys that 9/11 isn't about the sad things, even though we have to remember everyone who lost their lives that day, our police officers, firefighters, patrol officers, innocent people who were on these planes and all of the buildings that day. And thank goodness there was no tourist at that time. There were only employees at that time because it was so early in the morning. And that is a miracle, because it could have been a lot worse. And hats off to all the airport workers who were affected that day because they felt so guilty. And I can't imagine the guilt, that you would have. Christine said they did work at MK. Wow, that's really strange. Christine says we had to stay in our apartments on that day. So that means Disney College program shut down everything. If you guys had to get groceries, did they still allow you to get groceries, or how did that situation happen? Because, kids sometimes just go whatever to get food, for the apartment. Like, I had a designated day that I would go and get groceries on my college program. So I wonder how that would go. James Ryan said, I was in Midtown actually getting a coffee and enjoying what was a beautiful day until the first plane hit, and by the time I returned to my office, the second plane hit. That is insane. Whoa. And I'm trying to imagine that, and for a lot of the time, on your Disney College program, Disney was a big operation, and I knew they had to shut that down as soon as they found out word. I also found out living here in North Carolina now, we're more closer towards the Charlotte side of North Carolina than the other side. Not going to share exactly where, but I was told by other coworkers who has lived here for a long time. They said that Charlotte was also a major target because they said that Charlotte downtown is a big financial district, and they say they use it as a backup. They use it as a huge backup in case if any of the financial systems went down during the World Trade Center. So, and they said that the highways were blocked for hours trying to get downtown or even getting out. I think they said they put everything in lockdown. And if they heard any news about a hijacked plane heading towards Charlotte, they would start evacuating people, which was the right thing to do, at that time with the information that was given, because obviously everything was not given like it is today and it's on smartphones. There were still pagers and cell phones were just starting to get around. It was crazy. So Christina says we did have to stay in our apartments all that day. And their apartment had plenty of food, and they went back to work on the 12th. Now, that's good to know. James Ryan posts the entire phone system was shut down, both landlines and cell phones. Sirens began blowing, and it seemed like every emergency vehicle in the city was moving south. I can fully understand that. James, my mom worked for the Red Cross at that time. She remembers that day, and she said it was one of the most mentally exhausting days she's ever had. She said that I remember a few years back, I asked her what she did that day because I never really knew, and I wanted to ask. And I said, what did you do on 9/11? Like, I know you worked for the Red Cross and you had a really long day that day, but I don't remember exactly what you did. And she said, I think she said that she was trying to connect. As soon as the first plane hit, I think they said they were trying to get families to connect each other or find ways to help victims that were, still alive and injured. I think she said it was for a long time. And she said because the landlines were so shut down, the Red Cross was one of the few areas that the phones were working, because the whole entire country was overloaded, because sometimes you're in California and people are there. But I can't imagine what it would be like for somebody in California, because they woke up to this, to both of the buildings being on fire. One was about to fall, and I'm like, how would they process it different than for somebody us in the Midwest or New York City who reacted almost at time with the whole thing happened? So it's kind of crazy. Hello, Disney's Adventures. Hello, Noah. Nice to see you. Sorry, we were talking 9/11 for just a short while. We're going to go into Disney news. We're not going to make this all negative, but 9/11 is a big thing, and I don't want people to forget that, especially young people who were born before this happened or wasn't around when 9/11 happened, because it truly changed the way the country is right now, obviously, and it impacted how a community comes together, because I have not seen unity come together like what happened after 9/11. The unity of the entire city, the entire country coming together during that time was amazing. Even in school districts teamed together to help families who were impacted. If they had any family members, friends, acquaintances, help them getting counselors in schools. Simple things like that, made a huge difference. And to those who signed up to go and serve, and to those who've died from serving to help, stop what was happening, and eventually we reached the goal of achieving what we needed to achieve. Oh, it's your water. Got it. It was really scary. And I watched the reruns all the time of what the news was like that day, and I'm so, so glad as a child that I never saw somebody jump. That's the only thing I'm glad I didn't see was somebody jumping. And I try not to watch that now because it's too much for me to handle. My brain can't compute that. So I always remind myself that some of the documentaries are probably not the strongest thing to watch. Um, but I listen to all like the flight audio and um, the things that we do know of. That is interesting. James says we got more news from the television networks than any place else. Absolutely. Then everyone began trying to figure out who knew that we're in the towers, and then the news came along that the Pentagon was getting hit. Yeah, the Pentagon was a big deal because nobody tries to invade. Well, now obviously there's a big difference now with aerospace in DC now because of 9/11. And thank goodness the White House was evacuated because 93, for those of you guys who don't know and don't know the history of 9/11, if you guys weren't old enough, Flight 93 was actually targeted to go to the White House, which never happened because those brave passengers and flight crew on United Flight 93 took control back of the aircraft and unfortunately crashed because they tried to take the control of the plane back, which was a great thing for all them. But sometimes the victories also bring sadness with that. But yeah, the Pentagon was getting hit was insane because I'm sure that's when they were really like, okay, yeah, this is something like we need to stop all air traffic now. And I think by the time all flights were grounded and everything was grounded, they still saw that flight going towards DC. So I think they knew at that point that that was another hijacked plane because obviously it was the only one that didn't have it. But it's really interesting. So I'm going to get off this bad topic before I frighten everyone. But if you guys are on hashtag Team Replay, if you guys are coming back here with Team Replay, make sure you guys what was this? I want to make sure to remind you guys, and for those of you guys who are on Team Replay, make sure you guys please comment your opinions, what something you vividly remember, or what you think was the biggest positive that came out of 9/11, because there are quite a bit of positives that came out of 9/11, and things that, helped our country move forward, in a really difficult time. And whether or not people think the president at the time was a great president overall, how he handled 9/11 and how he helped the country stay together probably was one of the most incredible things to see. But it's cool. Everyone say hello to Passholder Pair. Hi, Val. Nice to get you. Nice to both. Hopefully both of you are doing great. Hopefully, Val, you're doing better after your operation, but I'm glad that everything's okay. Hello, this is such an important day for us educators. This is the first year that high school seniors were not alive when this happened. So important to teach what it means. So my sister was a senior last year, and her class is half and half. Anyone who was born before September 11th, obviously, was alive but never knew about it. And the other half of her class was born after and was either pregnant, was either about to be born or still in the really early stages of pregnancy, which is scary to think. I was about 5 or 6 when 9/11 happened. And I've been through a couple of these big tragedies now, unfortunately. But 9/11 really sticks to me. But I was still nonverbal too. So it was one of the few days when I was still nonverbal or just started talking that I vividly remember now. And it's kind of weird to think about my brain and the way that I was working at that time because it was so strange. But yeah. So yeah. Okay, we're going to get off the topic of that now, and I have a little bit of a rant because I saw some news on Twitter. I don't understand this. I don't know where they're coming from with this, but this makes me a little upset for two reasons, for guest and cast. And I know, Walt Disney World, I know that you're trying to save money because I know you guys lost a lot of money. However, at the same time, guys, hold on. Give me a second, you guys. I just gotta pull it up. If you guys are wondering what news outlet I use, I actually use Walt Disney World News Today. I actually met one of the reporters when I was a cast member. They were nothing but respectful, so I keep watching their content. They're not affiliated with the company at all, but they try to give as many good resources as possible, and they report on both coasts, which I really enjoy. Oh, that's weird. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Sorry, guys. Here we go. We did get news today. Walt Disney World News pass holders released some dates starting on the 13th, which is Sunday, going through the 18th, which is Friday, and then the same Sunday through Friday until the 1st of October. Cast members are allowed to go into the parks, which is amazing. I think they deserve it. Well earned to all of them, especially the ones that are still furloughed. They got some devastating news the past couple of weeks saying that some of them who have been furloughed since the beginning of this could be furloughed from another 6 months to a year. Which is pretty devastating. One of my cast members who is a leader at Typhoon Lagoon just says that she might be furloughed for another 6 months to a year, which is pretty scary. She thinks it might not be until next April or May to when she can go back making magic, which is pretty sad. And there's cast members like that all the time that are dedicated and loyal to their job and loves to make magic, that can't make magic right now. Like some of the resorts aren't opening and they're not opening. But this news from Walt Disney World making the decision to allow cast members to go into the park, I think it's a fantastic decision. I do think some of them have been for those of them who have been in the park with less operational and a lot of safety changes. I think a lot of stress, a lot of changes. I think them having a few days off to allow them to be a guest even for a few days, even if it's for only not even 2.5 weeks. I think it's well needed. All of us need, a Disney break once in a while, and I think cast members need that too. I can tell you as a cast member, there's some days where I haven't been in a park in 2 weeks, and sometimes it's good to be there for just an hour and sit and watch something for an hour and not have to worry about asking guests where to go or the other way around, and just enjoying the vibe, because sometimes you get so caught up in making sure safety is there and making sure that, especially now, the safety thing is more than what it has been in the past. It's been a lot more important to do that, and I hope you guys can get your input on this. If you guys want to see this is on Twitter, on Walt Disney World News Today outlet. They do a lot of cast member posts, and a lot of we did have filming from the tag episode, and they actually did ask our management before taking pictures, which I think is really respectable from a news outlet. So I appreciate what they do and how they ask permission, especially if cast members are going to be in the pictures. They definitely ask permission because they know not everyone wants to be on camera, which is great. They are still, however, blocked. I just saw the rest of the calendar. They are blocked from Friday, October 2nd through the end of December. But they don't say anything about New Year. If they get extension into the new year. So let me see what's going on here. So it looks like they're still out through that through December. They're going to be starting with weekdays and Sundays available. Saturdays are still blocked out, which makes sense. But I think that's a fantastic decision. I'm very excited about that. Give me a second, guys. Oh, also Disney just released a Pandora charm for Halloween, Disney Halloween. I think it's awesome because considering that we're not getting full Halloween this year, I do think getting a Pandora charm is awesome. See if Kara can just. This is the brand new Pandora charm that is being released today. That is a Pandora charm with the Mickey pumpkin head, which I think is really adorable and really cute. I think that's really fun. So really nice to see that. Also, they released the Spirit jersey for Food and Wine today. It's with Minnie in a apron making some delicious treats. It's really cute. I actually really like that. Also, all of the staff, all the flags at all of the parks today, including Disneyland. I know Disneyland would definitely be doing this. Disneyland, also, all of their flags have been at half staff today for Remembrance of 9/11 in the park. Also, we got some interesting news. This was about last night, but for those of you guys who love Cinderella's Royal Table, which we have tried to get a reservation there for years. We never seem to get luck with Cinderella's Royal Table. We always seem to be either be having issues with not getting a reservation because they're all full, or we can't get them at the time frame we like, or it goes down for a refurb, and when we get a call like a couple months before our trip and just say, hey, your thing is getting canceled your thing is getting canceled, your reservation's getting canceled, we need to schedule you for another one, which is very unfortunate at the moment. But that's okay. And again, James, you're awesome. Caitlin's available. Yes. Instagram is one of my best ways to reach out to me. Thank you. Oh, good. Pastoral repair. I'm very happy about that. Yay! That's very exciting. But we found out that Cinderella's Royal Table is actually lowering the prices of their menu, which is a pretty rapid decision because they just increased some table service restaurants recently. And because they're coming back September 4th, if you guys don't know, they're coming back on September 24th, Cinderella's Royal Table, fan favorite in Magic Kingdom. They're going to offering modified options on their menu, as well as no princess interactions, which makes sense. Like, safety is number one priority, especially, with character interactions. Like, we don't want to cause guest safety issues as well as cast safety. So I appreciate that. So the price has been, so here's what the current price is right now. Current price on the Walt Disney World website is listed as follows. So they're only going to be open for lunch and dinner. So I'm only going to say lunch and dinner because they're not available for breakfast. So lunch has always been $75 for adults, $45 for children. Obviously, if you guys don't know, children's always 3 through 5 or 3 to 9, and that's and you have to have tax and gratuity onto that. Dinner is the same price, $75 for adults, $45 for children, and lunch and dinner is a prefixed menu, similar to Be Our Guest. But now it's been slightly lowered. So now the price is $62 for adults and $37 for children. So that's a significantly lower. That's almost a $10 price difference. Almost 15, which is pretty crazy for a Walt Disney World resort, a Walt Disney restaurant to lower their prices that much. They're also lowering other dining experiences like Chef Mickey's, who haven't been able to reopen with character modifications right now, which is very, very exciting. So it's nice to lower the prices so more people can dine at the restaurants. I think it's great. sometimes I know we all miss the character interactions right now, but I think for right now, it's going to be the way that's going to be for right now. Mind the politics and stuff out of that. I do think the safety of everyone is most important, and we know the characters are going to come back. We know that the interactions are going to come back with time. I just don't think. First of all, I don't feel like it's going to be comfortable with wearing a mask. I just don't see that happening. Because that just seems odd, because the kids don't see him with the mask on, so I feel like it would be uncomfortable. Let me know what you guys think, if they were to be in the parks. Wow. And we also got a new billboard going up in Hollywood Studios. They have the Voyage of the Little Mermaid, but it's a new background. Same thing as always. But I wanted to share with you because actually I kind of like it. This is the brand new display that's in Hollywood Studios for the Voyage of the Little Mermaid. So there's been rumors speculating that the Little Mermaid isn't coming back. But with that new board, that kind of spreads some new drama, saying maybe they're going to revamp it, which would be really interesting. I'm going to see if they had any permits, because usually they'll go based off permits if they see any changes. So yeah, the new board's up. Okay, so I found this out. So while rumors circulated about the show's demise, it seems the removal was more along the lines of scheduled maintenance, as opposed to a sign of the show's permanent closure. The art of the new billboard has not changed. They're routinely replaced due to color fading from the sun, which makes sense. You know, it's Florida heat, right? It happens all the time. Hello, Dean. Disnoa, they don't give any date here on when it's coming back, but it's really nice to see. But I haven't seen any changes on if it's coming back, when it's a time frame. However, they haven't started doing the entertainment testing yet, in terms of some of the musicians and some of the things that are going to come back with time. I think they're trying to set that all up and get it ready to go, so that way when they do get cast back, it's going to flow very nicely. Because I can tell you there was some chaos in the beginning, especially when Disney Springs opened. A lot of chaos came from that, because they were learning just like everybody else, right? So it is a learning curve, and they obviously do not want to mess up entertainment, because then people know they want it back. Casts want to come back, guests want to come back and see entertainment, but they don't want it to be ruined in any way, and trying doing it the safest way that they possibly can with still bringing the magic to others. So I think that's great. Also, the famous pumpkin spice milkshake and soft serve sundae are back at Magic Kingdom. You can get them at I believe Auntie Anne's Galactic Goodies, I think is the name of the store. It's in Tomorrowland. It's right by not Tomorrowland, Terrence. What is it called? I don't eat there, so because they don't have very many vegetarian options for quick service. I usually go to Pinocchio's. What is it called? It has Sunny Eclipse in it. My brain is just doing a mess up today, but it's right next to there. Okay, here we go. Disney's Adventures was saying something about park hours. I wanted to let you guys know about what the extended hours are. So park hours have been now added through November 28th as of right now. The park hours have the same reduced hours in effect, which is 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom has the same reduced hours. For the start of the holiday season, Magic Kingdom will only be open for an extra hour in the evening starting on November 6th. So November 6th, 2020, if you guys have a trip, book that date. That's when they'll open an hour extra during the evening. And Epcot will be moving towards, I don't understand this. They're moving to a noon opening So they're going to be opening at 12 p.m. Or, yeah, 12 p.m. And they're closing at 8 p.m. So they're still open the 8 hours. But it's moving to noon, which I don't know how I feel about that because you're gonna be majority of the time of that entire day in the heat. And the heat doesn't really go away until late November. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I think there's gonna be a lot more dehydration cases, especially with food and wine right now. There's always a higher risk of that during food and wine rather than flower and garden. So that'll be a little interesting. Also, you guys probably know by now, they are bringing Christmas offerings. I'm really sad about this. I am not a Disney Halloween person. I am more into the Disney Christmas. The Halloween party gives me overstimulation attacks with the parade. Even though I love the soundtrack, the parade with the grave diggers and some of the noises throughout the soundtrack set me off, unfortunately. And some of the stage shows has too much sound effects or fireworks to really handle. A lot of their stage shows have a lot more fireworks, like unexpected fireworks, than planned, which that's why I like Christmas. So the parks is going to be open from 9 to 6 until November 6th. Epcot 11 to 7. So November 6th, Magic Kingdom will be open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Epcot will go from 12 to 8. So they're saying the same. They're saying the same hours, but just changing the times a little bit. I still think they should have kept it at 11 and just did 11 to 8 because the World Showcase opens at 11 anyways, but I don't know. The Cinderella Castle lights, which is what I look forward to every single year. It's one of the most magical things about Disney. I get excited to watch the castle lighting that news outlets have done for years on YouTube. I've always been able to watch the shows either on All Ears or Walt Disney World News Today. And it's really sad to know that they can't live stream it from the parks this year. Even if they only did a media preview and just did it on random times throughout the night, like to surprise people, that really hurt because that's what I look forward to every year. It's like everyone's canceling the Christmas party, not seeing the parade. For me, that's what I look forward to. Sorry, guys. I have a lot of talking. Instead of the Dreamlights, they're going to be doing a festival projection show. I'm not a huge fan of this. I love Happily Ever After. I kind of wish they tried doing Happily Ever After and just putting their slideshow up and doing the music, because I think people would be really excited to hear just a little bit of firework music, but not actually watch fireworks. And I also think the projection show would cause problems. I think people would still gather, just like the castle lighting. So I don't know how that's going to go. Also, there's going to be no candlelight processional on both coasts, but Disneyland, we have no idea when the park's opening, so that was kind of a given. They didn't say anything about Nightmare Before Christmas, their overlay, or if they're continuing doing Small World Holiday, which I think I've heard people say that it's a controversy. Some people really love Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, and some people like Small World Holiday. I've heard from people that know me very well. They say that I wouldn't exactly like Nightmare Before Christmas, but I would really love Small World. So I don't know anything about that. I don't think we are given a date. I just know that like a month ago they started putting up plexiglass, and I know they just increased their indoor. They just started doing indoor dining. They've only done outdoor dining since they've reopened Disney's Downtown Disney. So that's exciting. So yeah, Magic Kingdom, you're gonna have cavalcades as always. This one's gonna be featuring gingerbread men, the elves, the reindeer, and Christmas friends. They're also gonna be bringing the Main Street Philharmonic, which is really exciting. They're coming back. If you guys don't know what Main Street Philharmonic is, that's our band at Magic Kingdom. That's very exciting. Very excited about that. And they're featuring the toy soldiers, which is one of the coolest things they do for the parade. And then pop-up appearances by Santa Claus, which obviously that's normal. Epcot Park. They're doing holiday promenades. They're doing International Festival of the Holidays. Oh no! Hold on. They switched networks on me. Give me a second. James, let me know now if it's pixelated. Now, I just changed my network to the 5G network, so it should be a little bit better. I had problems with this last week, and I'm really annoyed. I'm like, oh, I can't seem to get a live stream to work to save my life. Because on my screen, I look perfectly fine, but I can't see what it looks like on YouTube. And I'm not on any other internet, so I don't know what's going on. Anyways, Festival of the Holidays. It's starting at, they did give a start date. Start date is November 27th. James just let me know how the pixelation's going with that. Obviously, you could take a picture of this. They're also doing Joyful at World Showplace, journey through R&B, gospel, contemporary, and traditional Christmas and holiday music. That's very exciting. I'm also very excited about this, and I'm so thrilled to see this. They're having the Voices of Liberty coming back, which I am beyond excited about. Voices of Liberty have not been playing since they've been on hiatus due to COVID, so I'm excited that Voices of Liberty is coming back. I'm so excited. Yes. Thank you guys for letting me know it's better. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry guys, it's going in and out on you guys. Fortunately, my internet seems to be a little sketchy lately. So that's very exciting. Voices of Liberty, I'm so excited about. Beyond thrilled about. And you can actually listen to their music on, I believe on Apple devices, I believe. If you look up the Voices of Liberty somewhere on the internet, you can be able to pull up their soundtracks. But they're awesome. You don't have to listen to it on YouTube. You can actually listen to it, stream it. It's awesome. Disney's Hollywood Studios, they're doing Merry Motorcades. Obviously, Hollywood and Vine is reopening. They're starting that on November 6th also. They're going to be doing a Yuletide gathering for all of her friends for Minnie Mouse. So Santa Goofy will be there along with Minnie and more in their holiday outfits. Very excited to see the characters are going to be coming in their holiday outfits. I think that's great. I think that's a great way to bring a little bit of the Christmas magic, even when we can't really have a full Christmas magic. So that's very exciting. And then my home, as you guys all know, my home is over at Disney Springs. And I'm very excited to happy to hear that the Christmas tree trail is coming back. They are going to be spreading it more throughout. And actually, I do think they can do that. There is a bit of backstage behind there's a whole track that goes behind all the retail shops in Marketplace. I do think they can use all that space for the tree trail. I think that's going to be great. I love the tree trail. I haven't been able to see it in person, but all of my cast member friends post pictures. They always do a cast released date to allow cast members to see it before, because a lot of them work crazy hours during the holiday time at Disney Springs especially. So they allow them to enjoy the Christmas tree trail. I'm very excited to see pictures from them again. That'll be exciting. They also have a magic snowfall, which is going to be awesome. So they're going to have snow falling in the middle of Disney Springs, and I wish I was there to see that. They're going to do that within Town Center, which is the newest part of Disney Springs. So if you guys haven't been to Disney Springs since the reimagining, Town Center is where Pleasure Island used to be. Rest in peace, but I couldn't go through there because I was too young, but that's okay. The Town Center's in the middle. They're doing it on West Side, which is where Cirque du Soleil and House of Blues is. That's West Side. And the landing is over by Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar, Raglan Road, Boathouse. But that's awesome. Very excited to see that. They're also going to change and do a holiday overlay on Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. They're going to call it Jock Lindsay's Holiday Bar, which I think is fun. Jack Lindsay will once again be decking out the bar with delightful holiday decor and adding a delicious limited time menu with festive favorites. They've done this for I think only the past couple of years. But I'm very excited to see a overlay of that. I think that's going to be awesome. The magical snowfall is what I'm so excited to see because Disney Springs has never done this before. They've only done it with the Christmas tree trail, and that was on cast release day, which made it pretty special for the cast, obviously. But I'm very excited to see snowfall in like town center. I wish they did it in Marketplace because if I smell snow falling right in front of my store or if I was working at that time, how special would that moment be? And you grow up in the Midwest all the time and you know it's not real snow, so it makes it so much better. Most people say that the real snow is better, but I've been in it so long that I'm excited when a hot weather spring gets like fake snow and they get to enjoy the magic of it. Of what your child, your first snowfall as a child was. Pretty cool. And we did find out that all the resort hotels who have been open or opening during Christmas time, however, some of them have been delayed. We did find out that all of them are going to still get their resort decorations. They're also going to all get their same lobby Christmas trees, which is fantastic to hear. I'm glad to hear that some of the magic from Christmas is starting to go back into the resorts. I'm very excited about that. Pop Century is actually one of my favorites with their holiday Christmas trees. If you guys haven't been at Magic Pop Century during Christmas, please go there. They make all of their Christmas trees based on the decades, which I think is really fun. Sorry, I'm lagging a little bit. Sorry, guys. Try to knock out as many things as possible. I'm going to take myself off the internet so that way you guys have more bandwidth. Hopefully that's a little better now that I'm off the pictures. But I'm so excited about the resorts. I'm hoping for those of you guys who are in the parks during Christmas, I would love for you guys to send clips of resort Christmas trees or Christmas things you see throughout the park. It makes me really excited. You guys can always message me on Instagram or post it on your stories and share it with me. I would be delighted to see. That's one of my favorite times at Christmas time. My mom is obsessed with snowmen, and Disney goes a lot with snowmen. They also make special snowman Christmas ornaments every year. I'm hoping to get her. We always have a Christmas tree that's always snowman based. Our Christmas tree is always snowman based. And a couple of Disney ones because she knows I can't get away without Disney. But and luckily when I move next year and I have my own apartment, I can be able to go in my room and make my own Christmas tree and make it all about Disney, which I think is going to be so much fun. I'm actually thinking about getting lights, Disney Christmas lights that are Mickey shaped and putting them here and making it part of my background because my sister has Mickey lights and she really loves it, so I'm really excited to try it. So yeah. Yeah, Dean says the Christmas tree trail looks fun on the stream, so I have seen it. Or you have seen or you haven't seen it? I'm confused. You have to clarify it on that. Also, guys, before we go and watch Dole Whip Dad, I don't think he does a stream today. Yeah. News, Dole Whip Dad is not going live tonight. I believe he's taking the night off and he's going to go tomorrow morning for Good Morning Disney. So just to guys let you know, we won't be sending anyone. I will be sending everyone to Monarch Moments tonight, who is live with me tonight. I believe they're still live. So I'll go send them to them. Pastel de Pear says, Val and I hope it's so cool at Disney this Christmas that Donald Duck has to wear pants. I think that's amazing. That's actually awesome. That's fantastic. I actually did have a couple days in my college program during February, beginning of May or March. They did have to wear a pretty heavy coat because the wind was so crazy. Because you get the coastal wind, which is a totally different story than if you were just dealing with a blizzard and wind chill. Because a lot of times it wasn't windy. It was just the way that the snowstorm came in, and it was like natural wind. It was like not like coming from the ocean, which you can't control. So that I did have some days where it was like in the 30s and 40s, if I'm thinking correctly. And I remember last winter they had some pretty cold days that were like in the 20s, and the whole state went on crazy. Anyways, um, I also want to share with you guys a little bit of a fun thing that's coming on. My friends over at Crazy Curvy Lindsay, which I please go to their YouTube channels. I'm gonna link them right here. Allie, first of all, she has a drawing Instagram. If you guys haven't been on the lives in a while, Allie has a drawing Instagram. This is the only public social media she's on. Make sure you guys go follow her at the account right here, animation_drawing_adventure on Instagram. Make sure you guys go and follow her. And make sure and I haven't mentioned this at all tonight, make sure you guys go check out Dean from The Live Place, Dreamer's Empire here on YouTube and on theliveplace.com. Make sure you guys go check him out. He's your family-friendly guide for streamers. I'm a part of his lineup since I've started this show, and I appreciate all the love. And he's also going to be supporting a pretty big movie marathon coming in October. So make sure you guys watch his YouTube channel. I believe he's doing a live show on it. Make sure you guys go and watch that. So my friends at Crazy Curvy Lindsay, which their TikTok right now is under a banished right now. And it's kind of sad because I've been having a lot of fun at TikTok educating people. Like I do a lot of my advocating stuff over on that channel just because it's easier to explain to people in 60 seconds or make it behind a cool music, to educate people, because then it's more interesting instead of me just saying something without any background music. But make sure you guys go follow them if you have TikTok. My friends Lindsay, Crazy Curvy Lindsay is her main account. This is Arizona Dream is their small business. They make handmade cups, stickers, and It's Harrison is little Harrison's TikTok. They share all about his updates, fun things that he's doing, sharing how he draws on the iPad. He's amazing. And while you guys are at it, please go and visit Arizona Dream on Etsy. They're an amazing small business, another autistic family, and they actually do have some ties with Disney. They did a Give Kids the World Make-A-Wish trip with Lucas, their older son, who just turned 9. He just turned 9. And they love Halloween. So right now they're doing a lot of things. Lindsay just did a huge thing on her Instagram story and TikTok of a Winifred, more of a cosplay than a Disney bound, an impression of her from Hocus Pocus, and it's amazing, and I love it. And James, shout out to James right now. James sent me, out of the blue, he sent me the Hocus Pocus spirit jersey. I bought the cup from Arizona Dream, so I'll put it together on the same episode, which is going to be fantastic. Bless me, guys. Been really itchy all day. I don't know if it's the dust. I don't know if it's the air because it's fall, but been really sneezy lately. And because of that, I do have a sticker that is actually on their shop. I will be sharing it with you right now. Let me go on Etsy right now and show it to you guys. I'm very excited to show you guys what it looks like. So this is my shop. This is her shop, Arizona Dream. But I made artwork that went on a sticker that you guys can actually go buy. This is the sticker. I'll put a spell on you. Arizona Dream. This is their Etsy account. Make sure you guys go check it out. Really simple, really affordable, and she doesn't pay a lot for shipping. She sends them in envelopes, so it won't send you. You guys won't get it packaged and cost crazy amount of money. But I created this on Procreate, and this is my first piece of art kind of merch that you guys can buy. So you guys can have a Caitlin exclusive. I'm very excited about it. And I posted the link to that sticker in the description below. So if you guys want to click that, go ahead. That's great. And then they do have YouTubes, both of them. They have Crazy Curvy Lindsay, which is her main YouTube channel, their family channel, which is Blended Family Adventure, and they also have Arizona Dream as a YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to them, especially with TikTok. I would love for you guys to go support them after if TikTok does go away, because they need all the help they can get. They grew their small business from TikTok, and they can use all the support they can. and helping a fellow autistic family is fantastic. And yeah, James, Monarch Moment is still live. We're going to be sending a hashtag. It's a blue attack, or it's a blue invasion. I haven't made a decision yet. I think we're going to use blue invasion. So let's just do it's a blue crew invasion. Let them know that I sent you. Monarch Moments I sent them to their stream. That way we can share all the autism love from us to them. So remember, again, hashtag never forget today. Today is a very important day in United States history. If you guys aren't from America or you had a little bit of a history lesson, make sure you guys thank those who are in firefighters and police officers, especially on this day, because they sacrifice so much day in and day out. They deserve it every single day. And thank you all for being forever supportive of my channel. I really appreciate all the love. I'm officially at 218. I'm almost halfway to 250, which will get me on the road to 3K. I'm very excited for the changes. And again, Disney Parks 101 series, don't know when that final episode will be, but once I have a final episode date, I will finally let you guys know. And I can't wait to tell you who the guest is. I can't wait. You guys are going to have so much fun with this person because he's so much fun to watch live. I've been really enjoying this person's live, so I'm very excited. Thank you for being an awesome person. Thank you for saying that. And Disney Adventure, thank you. James, good night, and good night to the members of the chant. We always enjoy being with you too, James. Make sure you guys say thank you to James. He's a king moderator here on this channel. I've officially said that. Make sure you guys go and say goodnight and say thank you to him because he's awesome. Make sure you tell Monarch Moments it's a blue crew invasion, and I will see you guys next week for another stream. Love you all. Bye, guys.